Welcome to A Drop of Happy, the companion to my blog, lightv.com, where we focus on carefree, stress well, light and lively living by loving and reviewing entertainment and art tidbits. I am Wanda Toby. I am a master's level trained certified rehab counselor. I am also a registered nurse, and I have, I hate to say it, 20 plus years experience in the healthcare field. And my passion is to just share information that will help us live a stress well or stress balanced life. There are so many reasons because of this, because stress and not knowing how to manage it plays a huge, I cannot stress, pun intended, I guess, how huge of an impact this plays on our health and our overall well-being and all that good stuff. And with that being said, where have I been? Well, I haven't been practicing what I preach, that's for sure. And if you've been on my blog or listened to any of my previous podcasts, you know that in addition to it being a passion of mine to just help educate people on the benefits of having a stress management program in your life, it's also my therapy. It's also what I do to try to keep myself together and try to practice what I preach and all that, which I don't do the best job of it. So it's also us working through it together. And I just love to read and get all this information and all this stuff. And so you don't have to, or you can start scratching the surface and then go off on your own. Again, the last time that I actually even blogged or did a podcast was months ago. And we're not even talking about consistency and how, of course, that doesn't help, right? I know. I know. But I'm going to do a couple of posts and updates and things to talk about that a little bit more, so you guys can get a background. But this is my attempt to kind of get my life back in order, back on track, back together. I feel like I'm perpetually trying to get my life together. But this is one small thing that I've decided to do, and I wanted to share with you guys so that you'll know the benefit of why this thing is helpful. And myself personally, things have just been out of whack with work, out of whack with my personal life, out of whack at home, just out of whack. And you'd think it'd be better, right? For the new year, you would think it would be better, but it's not. And this morning, as I was thinking of what do I need to do to get myself back on track, to adjust this derailment, right? And I was like, I need to establish a routine, like a small routine. So I had started with, which I wasn't doing, just setting my intentions for the day. So I had a little 5 minutes. I don't know if you could even call it a meditation. Just a little 5-minute talk to myself. And then it sparked, well, do you guys know how important having a routine is to helping you manage stress? So let's talk about it. Let's talk about the benefits of routine in stress management. So life, this thing called life, you'll hear me say that a lot. Life does not always go the way that we plan or the way that we want to go. And when it does, like when you do ultimately accomplish your goals or ultimately happens, like what you want happens, there's inevitable detours and twists and turns. And those things, even when we're on the journey, they can make us feel out of sorts, like out of whack, some kind of way, off kilter, funny, out of our skin. And those feelings tend to create some levels of anxiety, right? Some folks that can manage their anxiety, it's great. And there are some folks that it just builds and builds and builds. And when that anxiety is accompanied with uncertainty, that uncertainty then becomes, it has the potential to like balloon into fear. And then you're just kicking off the cycle of anxiety and then kicking off the cycle of stress and things like that, right? So ways that we can help with those. Now, if you diagnosed with anxiety and all that, please follow up with your professional. Do those things, right? I'm just kind of talking about ways to reset us. Mindfulness and awareness and a stress management program, right, can really, really help us with understanding and channeling that nervous energy. And that nervousness, that feeling of out of sorts, is usually an indication that our stress response has been activated. And one of the things that I've talked about previously is us always being in flight or fight or being in some level of stress and not realizing it. And that lack of realization just lets it keep going. And then you're in chronic stress, and then you're sick, and then you're in somebody's doctor's office. Just this whole thing. So having us have that level of awareness really can help us channel that, oh shoot, our stress response is activated, right? All right. And our stress response does not necessarily have to be a bad thing, right? We can use it, and basically our stress response is there to help us get through the next level, right? Is to help us get through these challenging times. And that's one of the mind frame shifts that I want us to have when we're talking about stress management. It's there for a reason. It's happening for a reason. Like, we're feeling this for a reason. We're feeling anxiousness or what have you, so that we can say, hey, why am I feeling like this? What is going on? What do I need to shift and pay attention to, or make small adjustments to, because something needs to be addressed, right? It's there for a reason. And sometimes when you're in the middle of that feeling, in the middle of just things being out of whack, which I feel like I'm in right now. And this is just me trying to get it together, guys. When you're in it, it's like you have tunnel vision, like you don't know what to do. And you're just like, oh, I'm just in this space and it feels weird and I don't know what to do. I don't know how to address it. But of course, the first thing is having that level of awareness. And in my efforts to just have a small impact, because I realize I'm in this space that's not great. I'm not productive. And it's just, I'm starting to enter that cycle. So in that, like I said, I was trying to think, okay, well, what do I need to do? And in addressing that, I was like, oh, I am adding a routine. It's a small routine, but adding a routine or adjusting our routines that may already be in place can really, really help with reducing stress, reducing that just icky feeling. And it can help us manage life events and our situation a little better. So there has been researchers that they really have found that routine can not only be beneficial in stress management, but also in helping with improving sleeping habits. That's why sometimes you'll hear people talk about your sleep hygiene, which is just basically establishing a sleeping routine, right? A bedtime routine. It's also beneficial in healthier eating, and all that can provide some increase in happiness. I find that it also helps to kind of ground us and keep our minds like tethered to reality, and things that we can actually do to impact our lives. And let me just pause and like, what does that even mean? Keep our minds tethered to reality. I can only explain it based off my personal experience and my personal thought process. And that's sometimes when we're in these states, let me rephrase. When I'm in these states, I spend a lot of time in my head and making up scenarios and moving towards more of the negative self-talk. And that's not based in reality, right? That's us creating dynamics and situations that we don't have to. It's just a result of the little bit of chaos that we're in, and we kind of don't know. Our brain is just like on overdrive of all the negative thoughts of why we suck. and I say me. So having a routine kind of pulls us back to reality and grounds us in what it really is and what we can actually do, like right now. It provides me, like creating a small sense of routine provides me with a comfort and a sense of accomplishment, which kind of, again, helps positively shift my mind frame from that place that I'm just making stuff up to something real, something that I can actually do, something that provides me a sense of comfort. Now, there are a couple of simple steps that we can do to first recognize that we actually need to do something that will kind of get us going in the right direction. First thing is pay attention. Sometimes there be things that just seem so basic, right? Ooh, I think y'all just heard my alarm go off. But yeah, pay attention. Pay attention to your mood. Pay attention to your mind, your attitude. Just pay attention to yourself. And there may be a lot of ways that you can do this. I've talked about them before. You know, I'm huge on journaling, even if it's micro journaling, whatever it is, even if it's just having a calendar and writing down what's your mood in the morning. It's something that you do on a regular basis to check in with you. You can start your day off with like a regular meditation, 5 minutes. You can start your day off with an introspective question. How are you doing today? How are you feeling today? What's your mood? How do you feel when you're laying down? Knowing your baseline and paying attention to when your attitude and emotion shifts is really important. Okay, just a slice of real life. My daughter came out and I have to take her back to school. But real quick, I want to do kind of finish this and kind of wrap it up. But yeah, so having that little moment for yourself and knowing yourself and checking in with your attitudes and your emotions, it's very important to taking care of yourself and kind of getting started on your little mindfulness journey. And that is a tiny little routine that if you're not doing it, you can do it and just check in with yourself. Mine was to set my intention. So I started off today with, like an affirmation, and then setting my intention. What kind of day am I going to have? Then start a small routine or update your routine. I know it kind of seems contradictory because you have a routine and I'm saying to change it. right? That's kind of opposite to a routine. Or on the flip side, start a routine. So if you don't have one, start small. Like I said, mine, I have plenty of basic routines, but my routine to get myself back on track is super small. It's just 5 minutes in the morning to set my intentions, right? Because it helps with paying attention to who I am, the first step. And then it's just a little thing that I have activated. So you can pick something small that will have an impact on whatever the issue is that you are going through. It doesn't have to fix the entire problem. Let's face it, you won't fix the entire problem, right? But you'll give yourself a small level of control because it will just kind of, I think I touched on it before, it'll kind of just help you have a sense of accomplishment and, and things like that. If you already have a routine or multiple routines established, then make just a small adjustment to that routine. Because maybe something in what you're doing right now is obviously not working, right? Or maybe you adjusted and you don't even know. Maybe you don't do that routine the same. So just kind of take a look at, okay, well, what do I already do? Because not taking away from the fact that you might already have a plan in place, right? But something probably has placed you off kilter. And making that small adjustment shifts your focus on what really needs addressing. Third step, which is super, super important, is to reassess, adjust, and keep going. Sometimes when we start doing something different, we don't necessarily go back and look at how's it working for us? Is it working for us? Do we need to make small adjustments? Are we on the right path? Are we getting results? Assess your situation, assess your mood, and how you are progressing. Basically, don't fall into the trap of ignoring yourself. And we tend to do that a lot, especially if you have a lot of activities going on in your life, a lot of things going on, then it's easy to ignore ourselves in those situations, right? So again, don't fall into the trap of ignoring yourself, and remember not to give up on your journey forward. Because sometimes, even though we have all this flurry of activity going on around us, sometimes we can just be stagnant within it, right? Which is crazy, but it happens. So keep going forward, keep doing the assessments, and just checking on yourself. Now, I'm not going to stop on this because there's a couple of really good articles that kind of talk about the benefits of routine, and I'm probably going to I'll probably do like a series, like a routine series, just to go over those articles with you guys and, talk about what I think about them. But I think it's just really important on this front if you're in a mess. I mean, I know it's about to be February. We just started the year, and me personally, I'm already off rails. I don't even bother making New Year's resolutions. I just pay attention to where I'm at, and this is what I needed. So I wanted to share with you all the benefits of stress. Now, there's a whole bunch of other things that's happening. I haven't done reviews, but I've been watching a whole bunch of things, so expect that to come soon. And yeah, we're going to pop off my return. We're going to pop off my return with a couple of series on routine and putting some routine in your life. If it's like out of whack, like mine is out of whack. So let's get back on track together and enjoy your day. Like, share, spread, all the good stuff. If you've enjoyed the article, leave a comment, follow me, all that good stuff. Look up Light V at Light V, LITEVI. That's where I'm at on maybe all social media platforms. And it's a drop of happy where you listen to all your blog posts. Thank you so much, and live light and stress well.